After 12 years representing Washington's 8th District in the U.S. Congress, Dave Reichert will not seek another term. Joining us now on the phone, Congressman Dave Reichert. Good morning, Congressman.
Good morning.
You've had a pretty nice run in the 8th District. It has been a long-time Republican stronghold in Congress. You know you stand a great chance to win another term, so why give up the seat?
I'm old.
Not that simple.
Well, you know, you just get to a time in your life where you sort of evaluate where you are now and, you know, what's ahead for you in the future. And I had time this past August to be with my kids and my grandkids and my wife, and we just came to the decision, you know, it was really time to spend some more quality time with my family.
All right. Well, I can't help but bring it up. The timing is interesting. Senator Maria Cantwell up for re-election next November, just as you relinquish your congressional seat. Now, you said in a statement yesterday that you, quote, see this not just as a job, but as a calling I will not walk away from. So is that the plan, to run for Senate?
No, I haven't given it any consideration at all. When I decided to not seek re-election, I have always said, you know, that I'll look at every opportunity as it's presented, but right now I have no intention of running for the Senate, and I've also been asked about governor, and that's really not a consideration that it's foremost on my mind. I still have over a year plus to serve in Congress, and I have just, someone asked me if well, you know, what's my plan, and I've never really had a plan. God has always had a plan in my life. So, you know, I'm going to see what God has planned after January 2019.
All right, fair enough. Now, you took a bit of heat for refusing to hold town hall meetings this year, saying that Republican town halls around the country had devolved into public shouting matches. Do you regret that decision?
Oh, no, absolutely not. No, I would, if I were continued through on this campaign, I would be conducting my campaign in a very similar way. I think that we live in a time where there's too much anger. I make myself available to the constituents in a variety of different ways, and I continue to reach out and listen to my constituents. In fact, you know, that's one of the qualities I think that has helped me maintain this tough seat, and I hope that the next representative will have that same ability, the same patience to be a good listener and be a good representative of all the people of the 8th District, not just the Democrat or Republican constituency.
So the president yesterday, Congressman, announcing that he will end the DACA program, punting it to Congress to figure it out. Now, that program protects some 800,000 children from deportation, people who came to this country illegally with their parents. Now, you were one of the many lawmakers on both sides of the aisle who said that it was the wrong move, and Congress obviously has a full plate this session. So where does readdressing DACA fall on the priority list for Congress?
Well, for me, it's high on the priority list, and I am advocating for it to be high on the priority list for leadership. I think it's something that we need to address and address quickly. I've been a supporter of the DACA program. In fact, the Bridge Act is you know, I'm a co-sponsor of that piece of legislation, which also addresses this issue. So I'm more of a proponent, though, for an entire immigration reform, and DACA, of course, would be a part of that, as would H-1B, H-2A, visa revisions. These are things that we need to do along with protecting our borders. If we were able to get immigration reform done, we wouldn't have to worry about sanctuary cities and some of the other initiatives within immigration reform. We could move on and focus on tax reform and trade and other things that people are concerned about.
You were one of the few Republicans who voted against the House health care bill, which the president pushed hard for, but after it passed, he called mean. Do you agree with the pointed pressure the president continues to put on Congress to get these bills passed?
Well, I said from the very start that we missed a great opportunity in January to reach out to the Democrats because we both recognized there were weaknesses and flaws in Obamacare. And we could have worked on those agreed-upon weaknesses and flaws to protect our constituencies from higher premiums and co-pays. And we missed our chance. We decided to do the same thing the Democrats did, and that is to just do a party line bill Democrats did that, and look how that's working out, not so well. The Republicans did that. Look how that's working out, not so well. And I think that, it's time that this is one of the things wrong with Congress right now. It's time that we step up, work together, and move these things forward for the benefit of the American people.
Running tight on time here, Congressman, but I want to talk to you about bipartisanship. The president sided with Democrats on a bill to fund Hurricane Harvey victims tied to a 3-month deal to raise the debt ceiling. Now, Democrats hailing this as a great example of bipartisanship, and as you mentioned, it's been short in supply in Congress. Now, do you agree with the president's move there?
Well, I agree that the president needs to work with both parties, and I think this is an example. I think that he should have worked with the Republican Party and coming to an agreement on working with the Democrat Party, but he took them by surprise, which is, of course, I don't think the right way to go about this. It should have been a cooperative effort from the Republican Party here in Congress and from the president's administration, both reaching out to Democrats at the same time and working together instead of taking one part of the government by surprise.
Always a measured take from you, Dave. Really appreciate your time. Congressman Dave Reichert from the 8th District, and we wish you the very best in the future.
Well, I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to you, and thank you so much for having me on.